While I was looking for a Dropbox appointment, I didn't even use the option of selecting Kolkata. After a while, I started getting desperate. Everyone gets desperate because you are not getting any appointment, so I was okay for any location. Finally, I got the Dropbox appointment at Kolkata. Rather than thinking that I got a new location or a location that I was not familiar with, I started thinking on the brighter side of taking this as an opportunity for me to travel to a new location. That's how my journey for my visa Dropbox appointment started for Kolkata. Though this is the first time I'm traveling to Kolkata, I don't want to be in a rush or find myself in a place where I am not able to do anything. So I gave myself enough room to be there a day before and get myself comfortable, settled, and be ready to go for the visa Dropbox. Was it easy? Being a South Indian, did I enjoy it? I'm going to walk you through my journey. It's me, Jasmine Towers. Let's get ready for the trip. Being from South India, literally from South India, that's not even Chennai, I'm from Kanyakumari, so I don't know a lot of Hindi. My level of Hindi is very little. Thanks to my friends and roommates and to Bollywood, I was able to catch a little bit of Hindi here and there, so I was able to manage. But how far? We'll see. I didn't even attempt Bengali. Uh, I had a friend in Kolkata, so I went with the gut feeling that she would come for my rescue. I took a flight from Chennai to Kolkata. This is the fastest way to reach Kolkata, and Chennai has more frequency of flights. This is the first time I'm traveling on a domestic flight from Chennai, so I was even excited even to see the Chennai terminal. Once we cross the security check, all we have to do is go towards the gate. We have to take elevator downstairs, and there is a waiting area. I'm not sure if there are any gates that will directly take you to the aircraft, but here we need to take a bus, and it takes you around through the taxiway and takes you next to the aircraft. My flight was at 7 a.m. in the morning, so I booked Indian Airlines specifically because they were the one who are providing the breakfast, and it was a 2.5 hour journey from here to Kolkata. Like I expected, I got a very tasty breakfast and I enjoyed it. I slept for a couple of hours in the flight and I finally reached Kolkata on time. Like I said earlier, like I had a friend at Kolkata, so she started texting me where to go from the airport. So I started planning myself for my journey. In a South Indian movie, the first landmark they show is the Howrah Bridge. My first stop was Howrah Bridge. So I took a AC bus from the airport. It was again a 1.5 hour journey from the airport to the Howrah Bridge. So I took another nap. Luckily, I was in a AC bus, but otherwise, like I saw the other buses, they were pretty old. I don't think they updated any of the buses. Uh, After looking at the images that you're seeing, I started realizing that I am coming close to the Howrah Bridge because how see this is people started living around this Howrah Bridge, which is constructed across Hooghly River in the year 1935. So people started developing things and putting up the shops and businesses were developing right across this area. As the journey goes by, I started nearing the bridge. I was able to see the bridge from far side. My actual destination was Howrah Station, railway station. So that's where I am heading towards. I found it really majestic. It was a steel construction and it was so huge. But the traffic was flowing very easy. Here is the full view of the Howrah Bridge from the other end. Another iconic artifact of Kolkata, I would say, is the yellow cabs. So I started seeing a lot of yellow cabs around this railway station. I thought I would take a bridge or something to go across the river. Then I took a subway, and I saw this scene where in which people were flowing like water from outside the railway station, and they were going across the street. Uh, and I thought a time lapse would make it really interesting, and this is how it looks. Then I decided this is not the way to go. So I thought I'll take a walk across the bridge. On the other side of the bridge is a huge market area, a lot of sweet shops, and I didn't know what to eat, so I thought I'll take a lassi to be on the safer side. Then my friend helped me with the next place where I should be, which is the Victoria Memorial. I took the iconic yellow cab to reach Victoria Memorial. So during the time of my visa dropbox, Omicron was at the peak. So the Victoria Memorial, when I reached, it was closed. So I couldn't do anything. I just took some pictures from outside, and I had to move on. So I was not even thinking of going anywhere else. So I thought I'll go back to the place where I booked. I booked a house using Airbnb, which is close to the visa Dropbox center, the Jasmine Tower. My original idea was to use a lot of public transport, but this time, like when I saw the buses, everything was written in Bengali, so I didn't want to take any chances. So I took a iconic yellow cab again, and I finally reached my destination. Here is another iconic artifact of Kolkata, which is the hand pull rickshaw, but I didn't want to try it at all for humanitarian reasons. Here is a quick snapshot of the locality where I stayed. It was quite calm, uh, clean. So I really liked the place where I stayed. So it is not. I'm not sure if it is supposed to be any posh area or something, but it was good. I skipped the lunch for the whole day and directly went for the supper, which is the pani puri. Here is the place where I really felt the effect of digital India. So I didn't have a change. So I was roaming around for 10-15 minutes to get a change. But finally, this guy was able to accept a phone pay, and I was able to finally pay him. For dinner, I asked my friend for an authentic Bengali restaurant. She made sure that it's quite walkable, and she recommended this restaurant called Six Ballygunge Place. If you notice, you can see that this is a three valued restaurant. That means it's a little bit on the expensive side. It was supposed to be an authentic restaurant. So the thing that I noticed in this restaurant is the artwork is quite fascinating. Everywhere there is kind of a portrait that showcases the culture and the civilization of West Bengal. Uh, and it was quite soothing sitting in that restaurant. There were a couple of rooms. One was themed. Either both of them are themed in a different way. If you see this room, like it is painted in yellow, and they had different types of like animals, birds, and stuff. At the exit, I found this artwork, which was quite impressive too. I ordered the starter, fried fish, and for the main course, I chose the mutton curry of Kasamasha. I know what your South Indians are thinking about it now. Along with the lochi, it's nothing but puri. When it came to the flavor, it was not that different from any of the South Indian mutton curry. Truly speaking, I was not impressed. Day 2, the day of my visa appointment. I had my appointment only in the afternoon. So I decided to visit this place called Tram World. It was walkable from the place where I was staying. It is supposed to be an iconic museum for trams. I have seen in a lot of movies, so I was fascinated to see this place, but it was closed for repair, so I couldn't see anything inside. During my walk, I noticed a lot of tea shops with this clay pot, but I was worried or skeptical about having this because I have seen in some Tamil movie that this is not a regular chai; it is something else. But anyways, I took my chances of trying this, and it turned out to be a very nice thick chai, and I liked it. I think Kolkata is one of the places, or the only place in India where the tram is still in operational state. So I did not want to miss that. So I took this tram ride, which was next to this Tram World. But I waited for an hour or so without even knowing whether they would start this tram or not. But finally, I ended up getting into a AC tram. They were serving even some snacks in the tram, so I started enjoying my ride en route to the final destination of Jasmine Towers. But kind of missed the stop, so I had to stop the tram in the middle to get down. Finally, I landed in a market area where I found this local street shop for having my lunch. To my surprise, this is exactly what I was looking for. Local street food, fish with rice and some sabjis in the for the side, and it was so appealing that I couldn't resist myself going to this place. So I started enjoying my authentic Bengali style food. Jasmine Tower was walkable from the place where I was having lunch. So I started walking towards the Jasmine Towers. Don't walk on the sidewalks because it's all covered with trees and there is a lot of birds. So when there is birds, you know what I'm talking about. Why I'm saying that don't walk on the sidewalk. But it's quite easy to go there, and I was able to in a 5 minute walk. I was able to reach the Jasmine Towers. There is a park opposite to this building, but I'm hoping that they'll let you wait there. But it was closed when I went. This is the hallway outside the door of the visa Dropbox. You can leave your bag and you can go for the appointment and come back and take it. My visa Dropbox appointment got completed in and around 30 minutes. Right around the corner, there was a photocopy center. So this is the landmark for finding it. Now that the purpose of this trip is complete, I started heading towards north of Kolkata, towards the airport, en route to see my friend. So basically, this is the journey where which I saw a few things. I just wanted to highlight and showcase. So I saw a Buddha statue, and on the route I saw a lot of statues. They gave preference to everyone. Like I saw the statue of Gandhi and Netaji, then the football statue, and there were a lot of other statues. So I think Bengalis have a lot of fascinations towards statue, I believe. Then I saw this iconic clock tower. I think this was glowing, and they have lit up this clock tower really well, and it was good. This reminded me of the clock tower from my hometown, which was also built by British. I believe this is also built by British, I believe. I met my friend at this snack place. Then we moved on from here towards the airport. The airport was 15 minutes away from this place, and on the way, like I took a little detour towards this sweet spot called Haldirams. So let's see what are the things that I saw there. By the way, this is my friend Amrita Ghosh from Kolkata, who was my virtual guide for this entire trip. Just look at the variety of sweets that the shop had. So I don't know which one to buy. So my friend was there to help me with picking up a few sweets that I shouldn't be missing. So I bought a couple of boxes for my sister and my sister-in-law. So I grabbed a few things back to US, like Soon Papdi and a couple of other boxes. Otherwise, like, it was quite fascinating to see so much of sweets under one roof. I wouldn't say they were even discounted or anything. They were expensive. So if you start buying a few things or the other, you will start ending up paying in thousands. Uh, but this is the chance. This is one of a chance where I can come here and get something which is more authentic towards Bengal. So I bought a bunch, and mm, here is my pack. In North India, I don't want to eat idli or dosa, so I grabbed a chaat as my dinner, and I started heading back towards the airport um, for traveling back to Chennai. So if you see this airport, the that interesting thing that I noticed is their roof. So I think the inscriptions on the roof is must be in Bengali, I believe. But it was there everywhere, all throughout the airport. There were a lot of inscriptions of these symbols. I believe to be a Bengali, everywhere in the airport. I was traveling back in a space jet, so I just wanted to show you the legroom that they were providing. Interestingly, it was sufficient enough for me, given it was comparable towards the international flights. At last, I am in the air, heading towards Chingara, Chennai. So if you see this picture, like I was able to take a picture of the Hooghly River at night. Rather than thinking if I enjoyed it, I liked the journey. If you have any recommendations for any locations that I would have visited, or when is the best time to visit Kolkata, leave me a comment. I'll try to consider myself when I'm visiting Kolkata for the next time. And anyone who is watching this video can read through these comments and make it useful for them. Thank you.